فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء
فارتقي في الخير وارقى أفقا إنها العلياء تبغي مسلما أنت عنوان لأمجاد الهدى فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء
لن ترى يوما ونجمك آفل فارفع الرايات وامضي.
Sincerity. What about knowing about the ulama?
Do your research. Have an eagerness to learn.
Very good. The point is that most of people nowadays, they don't even know about the ulama. They don't know about the ulama. And then when an alim is coming, and you're mentioning the name of that alim, mashallah, Fulan ibn Fulan is coming from far away, giving a lesson here and there. Who is he? Who is he? There is no eagerness. There is no quest for talab al-ilm, aslan. So we need to know the ulama. We need to search for the ulama. We need to know their names. We need to know their schedule. We need to know where are they when. And how can I go there? Abu Yusuf rahimahullah ta'ala was the most famous student of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala. And he was for a certain while in Baghdad. So Ahmed ibn Hanbal knew that. He went to him and he learned from him. For how long? For 4 years. 4 years he would sit there. 4 years just with Abu Yusuf. Just with him. Rahimahullah ta'ala. He didn't have any food anymore. So what did he do? By the way, he was already a very famous person at that time. Ahmed ibn Hanbal, the people recognized him already. He was a well-known person already at that time. So what did he do? He would go to some farmers and he said to them, I would like to work. I would like to work. I would like to earn some money. So he was working with them and for them for 3 days, getting some darahim, which eventually helped him to reach Sana'a. When he came there, the Sultan recognized him. The Emir of the place recognized him, or this Ahmed ibn Hanbal. Although he actually came to learn. And he said, I want to give you gifts. I want to give you this. I want to give you that. He refused everything. He said, I don't want anything. He said, I don't want anything. And he was working again. Where? In Sana'a. He was working in different places to earn some money. At the same time, he was actually listening to ahadith, memorizing ahadith. From who? From Abdul Razzaq ibn Hammam al-Sana'ani, one of his mashayikh. There are people, they work from morning until late at night, every day, continuously. If you ask them, where did you last time touch the Quran, not read from the Quran, touch the Quran, they would say, oh, the Quran is on the shelf over there, it's decoration. It protects my house. They will say. This is not the way of the Muslims. This is not the way of the Muslims. It's about earning money and it's about learning. And Ahmed ibn Hanbal, as he already was an alim, he already was a famous person, we conclude another thing. One word which I would say here is humbleness. And he was very famous for that. He would refuse any gifts from whoever, especially if the gift was from a sultan, from an emir. He, by his nature, would actually not like to be close to the emir. By his nature, he wouldn't like to be close to anybody who was in power. So he wasn't accepting any gifts. And when Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala left Baghdad, and by the way, at that time Baghdad had about 2 million people who lived in Baghdad. There were about 2 million people lived in Baghdad. When Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala left Baghdad, he would say, I left Baghdad and I did not leave behind me anyone more virtuous, afdal, more learned, a'lam, more knowledgeable, afqah, than Ahmed ibn Hanbal, rahimahullah ta'ala. Nobody was there who was afdal, a'lam, afqah min Ahmed ibn Hanbal rahimahullah ta'ala. And then Ash-Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala died. Ahmed ibn Hanbal became the mufti of Baghdad. Not by his will, but the people made him. And we will learn later that he actually hated that his fatwa were written down. He didn't want his fatwa to be written down. He didn't want that. That will be in the end, inshallah. Alf hadith. Alf hadith. Who knows what is alf in English? 1,000. 1,000 times 1,000 equals 1 million ahadith. 1 million ahadith and narrations of the hadith. And there are many scholars who say there wasn't even one single alim who actually memorized more ahadith than Ahmed ibn Hanbal. So these ayat and others clearly indicate that useful knowledge comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Useful knowledge is about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fiqh is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Az-zakah, intelligence, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ilm is not that you can weigh with the shahada, with the certificate. I'm doctor now. See, my certificate is here. This is not the ilm. This can help you in the dunya, yes. And we should try to achieve and get those certificates. But this is essentially not the ilm. This is not the true ilm. The ilm is about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With taqwa, with being humble, with having good adab, then you will see the success of ilm. Then you will see the success of knowledge. Now, how would Imam Ahmed rahimullah ta'ala put his knowledge in action? I have 3 stories. Listen to what his son would say. His son Abdullah, he said, his son Abdullah would say about his father Ahmed, my father would pray beside the fara'id, apart from the obligatory prayers, he would pray daily another 300 rak'ah. How many? 300 rak'ah. And if you think, well, this is just a story, Allahu Ta'ala, this is probably not truth, this was reported in Tazkiratul Hufaz by Al-Dhahabi, Siyar Alam al-Nubala by Al-Dhahabi, Al-Bidayah wal-Nihaya by Ibn Kathir, Tarikh Baghdad, Tarikh Dimashq, and. Many books have reported this. Many books have reported this. So apart from the obligatory prayers, Ahmed ibn Hanbal would pray another 300 rak'ah during day and night. This is putting knowledge in action. This is showing that you are actually depending on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Ahmed ibn Hanbal rahimahullah was just listening. And there were students around and people around. And the man was slandering and cursing him and using very evil words. When he finished, when he stopped, the people around would say, oh Ahmed, give back, refute his words. What he's saying is not the truth. Give back, refute. Ahmed ibn Hanbal said, no by Allah, no Allah. Where would the Quran be if I would do so? Where would the Quran be if I would do so? Why did he say that? He recited, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He ordered us to do something else. Yeah? What is the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? In Surah Furqan, and when the ignorant people, the people who don't know, if they come to you and address them harshly, slander, using very evil words, what is your position? They say, or you should say, salama, words of peace. Don't give back. It's no faidah. No faidah. As if you were to talk to a wall. They don't understand you. People without knowledge, people speaking in such a way, don't give back. Don't refute yourself. There is no faidah for that. But what you can do is dua. And if people do something which is if people do injustice to you, you can make dua.